Hello, everybody, and welcome to the post-match show, the final post-match show from the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. And history has been made. India are World Cup champions. They have won by 96 runs. They've absolutely crushed New Zealand, and in the process, history has been made, like I said. First team to win back-to-back T20 World Cups. First three-time champions of the World T20, and the first host nation to win a World Cup on home soil in the T20 World Cup. I mean, what a day. What absolute scenes. It's been an incredible day for me. My voice is nearly gone. I've been talking all day. Thank you, everybody who watched the live. Thank you to everyone who watched the live watch along that me and Santosh did. But before we get into this video, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, because this is not it for us. In fact, it is just the beginning. We are just scratching the surface. We've got so much more great content you're coming away. New shows, new episodes, interviews, analysis, you name it, we've got it covered here on the Clean Bold podcast. But we've had great fun covering this T20 World Cup. So, yeah, guys, it's been an emotional day. Santosh and I hosted a live watch along. So, yeah, as I said, thanks very much for everybody who tuned in, commented, got all involved. No matter who you were supporting, we had so much feedback and support. So we really, really appreciate it in this very early start to our journey. And thanks to Santosh as well for co-hosting it with me. So, yeah, look forward to more content from us and more from Kieran as well when he comes back. So, yeah, guys, today was the final, if you didn't know. We've been covering the entire tournament. It's been a brilliant tournament so far. But yeah, Ahmedabad, home of one of India's biggest nightmares, one of their biggest defeats, really, when you consider the last time they had a final here was in the 2023 World Cup, the 50-over edition. They played against Australia. As we know, we all know what happened. So it was our biggest kind of choke, if you like, where we wilted under pressure. So there was a lot riding on this, you know. As I said, no team had previously won back-to-back trophies. No host nation had won a T20 World Cup. New Zealand had beaten India in every single T20 World Cup match that these two sides have faced. And of course, in the last, I think, 30 or 31 white ball tournament wins that matches that India have had. India have only lost twice, and they were both in Ahmedabad. So something had to give today. New Zealand won the toss and chose to bowl first, and we were a bit like, oh, God. But I think after the England game, a lot of us were feeling, okay, look, we've seen this India side that when they bat first, they actually go really strong. So we weren't too fussed in that situation. And why should we be when they racked up 255 for 5 in their 20 overs? I mean, some brutal hitting. I mean, we thought they were brutal and ruthless against England. They actually outdid and scored one more run than that night. And to be honest with you, I was a little bit disappointed myself. For those who watched with us, you'll know that I was actually a little bit disappointed. So was Santosh, that we thought actually India should have really gone more than that. New Zealand, in the end, they never really looked like they were going to chase down this total. Obviously, they had that opening combination, Team Seifert and Finn Allen, who was so good against South Africa. But India just had to squeeze them the whole way. And look, it's a daunting task. So when you have to chase that many runs in just 20 overs, you've just got to go for it from ball one. And look, they started okay. They were probably like 30. In fact, when the first wicket fell, there was a third over and they'd already scored 30 runs. So they kind of started pretty well. But once the first wicket fell, it was just wickets of regular intervals, and they could never really recover. So yeah, let's take a look at India's batting scorecard. Star of the show again, that man, Sanju Samson. I mean, what a tournament he has had. In fact, he ended up becoming man of the tournament, which is pretty incredible when you think that he basically didn't even play for the first half of the tournament. He's only really played in the Super 8s. In fact, only really the Zimbabwe game, West Indian game, the England game, and now the New Zealand game. 4 games in a row. And he's ended up becoming nearly the tournament's highest run scorer, which is insane. I mean, he could have actually had 3 centuries in a row, but he ended up on 89 of 46 balls at a strike rate of 193. Abhishek Sharma finally came into some form. You know, we were talking about maybe he might even be dropped for this game, but he's in such poor form. But he came to the party today. 52 of 21 balls. Look, there was a little bit of risk in his early shots, but it was nice to see him get back to the Abhishek that we know, the Abhishek that we knew before this competition. So timely kind of returned to form and a good contribution in the final. Ishan Kishan, what a competition he's had as well. 54 of 25 balls. And then, yeah, as I said, New Zealand squeezed India a little bit. Once they got rid of that top 3, Tilak Varma and Hardik Pandya had a real hard time getting going, which isn't necessarily their fault. I think when you're coming in after the first three have put on such a platform, you coming in with 5, 6 overs to go, and you just need to tee off, it is quite difficult. So they struggle for fluency. But Shivam Dubey, he came out, you know, crushed 26 runs in that final over, and that took us India to a pretty daunting 255 for five. But as I said, should have been at least 20 to 30 runs more. New Zealand, again, yeah, as I said, they didn't really look like they were going to get anywhere close. Tim Seifert, 52 of 26, was the only real highlight. Mitchell Sutton, the captain, got 43 as well, but everybody else was in single figures. Finn Allen, 9, Rachin Ravindra, 1, Glenn Phillips, 5, Darren Mitchell, 17. So, look, it wasn't a particularly good response from New Zealand, 179. They were just blown away. Blown away by the momentum that India had, blown away by the better team. That's really all it comes down to. India were far and away the best team, and they outclassed New Zealand today. Some of us were thinking maybe it's going to be a close game, but India made sure that this wasn't going to be close when they got 255. That England result was a bit of an anomaly. It's a freak result. That the chase was a bit of a freak. So 9 times out of 10, you're just not going to chase that down. It's too many runs. So I think New Zealand choosing to bat first. Yeah, I mean, was that the right decision? The wrong decision? I don't know. Look, I think, thankfully, what transpired, I think New Zealand maybe had the right idea to try and restrict India as much as they can. They felt that they could have chased anything. These are batting friendly pitches, so chasing makes sense. People like to chase because they know what the target is. This is not a bowler friendly tournament. I think India just completely obliterated New Zealand's bowling. It was only the lie maybe in the end 2 or 3 overs when New Zealand struck back a little bit, but they'd already conceded well over 200 anyway. So it was a fearsome, ferocious, ruthless batting display by India, as they have shown pretty much from that South Africa defeat onwards, that this is the depth and the talent and skill of this Indian batting line to score sixes is actually pretty scary. And they brushed New Zealand aside, 159 all out. Look at the bowling figures for India. Arshdeep, 4 overs, 0 for 32. Hardik Pandya, 1 for 36 in his 4 overs. Akshar Patel, 3 for 27. He did really well. Varun Chakravarti, probably the only real negative for India today. Again, he's really struggled in the Super 8 stage. He's taken the most wickets joint, I think, or second. But my God, he has been expensive in the Super 8 stage. 1 for 39 in 3 overs. So, yeah, very expensive. But the star with the ball, who else? Jasprit Bumrah. I mean, listen to this. 4 overs, 4 for 15 in a World Cup final at a economy rate of 3.71. He finished as the tournament's leading wicket taker and actually became man of the match as well. So, yeah, a brilliant performance from India. They were superb. And look, I think it's been an emotional day, like with so much riding on it, to see India kind of exercise a few more demons after seeing that little period of time where they were getting to semi-finals, getting to finals, and always like kind of choking themselves. We think back to the 2019 World Cup, the 2015 World Cup, to name a few. 2022, they got to the semi-final as well. So it was just becoming a bit of a theme of India breaking hearts, and obviously the 2023 World Cup being undefeated the entire tournament and then losing in the final in such heartbreaking circumstances was kind of the way that it was going. But 2024, they exercised those teams. We're getting over the line in a final, and then they won the Champions Trophy. They won the Asia Cup. And now they've won another T20 World Cup, this time in India, in front of their home crowd, in a ground that has had so many painful memories for them. So to exercise those demons and now to see this team become a winning machine, winning 3 trophies in a row, back-to-back World Cups, that is something, a sign of that people should be worried about this India team now dominating. And they are dominating in the white ball format. They are the best team in the world. That shouldn't be forgotten. They've got the depth of resources. Think of the players that aren't even in this squad. Yashvi Jaiswal, Shubman Gill, Shreyas Iyer, just to name a few. Mohammad Siraj, okay, he's in the squad, but hardly getting a game. Rishabh Pant, Ravindra Jadeja, people who are like in front and centre of Indian cricket, they're not even getting a look in. So India could have probably fielded 2 teams, and the second team probably could have got quite far as well. It might have been India versus India in the final in that hypothetical scenario. So, yeah, India, the preeminent force in white ball cricket, and there's a 50 over World Cup next year. Who knows? Can they hold all of those trophies in one hand? That would be an amazing thing. But yeah, what a day! You have to give it to India. Look, after that South Africa game, a lot of people were suspecting they may not even make the Super 8 stages, teetering on the exit. South Africa helped them out by beating the West Indies, but then India did what they needed to do. They won, and they won convincingly, and they've really knuckled down. And that's my favourite part of all this, is that at a time when they were humbled, they didn't crumble under the weight of expectation. They regrouped, they recharged, and they came back, and they've delivered four brilliant performances back to back, where they've been dominating in each game. Obviously, the England game was tense, but they were really good for the most part. They were fantastic today. New Zealand had no answer, and this was not a close game at all. New Zealand were outclassed. And a spare thought for them, it's another nearly moment for them. They're sort of always the bridesmaids. I don't want to be disrespectful to them, but that's the case, It's another final that they've lost in. They've reached another World Cup final, but they just seem to can't get over the line. Today, I don't think they had any. Once India got that many runs, there was just no real chance. Just a fool's hope, you might say. But yeah, India were just too good with the ball, too good with the bat. But yeah, New Zealand, everybody likes them. They're sort of the nice guys of cricket. And again, I'm trying not to be too condescending, but I think we look at them in a kind of way, like I've said this for, like plucky underdogs. Because a country of their size, for a country of their populace, for them to be making finals regularly, semi-finals regularly, is a big deal. Santosh told me on the stream, Ahmedabad as a city has got 1 million, in terms of population, is 1 million more than New Zealand's entire population as a country. So that's what they're up against. So for them to be actually in this position makes a lot of sense. There's people, Dale Steyn was sort of upset that people don't target them more as chokers, and that tag gets thrown on South Africa a lot, because New Zealand have actually been in more semi-finals and finals than South Africa, but they've not won anything. I think South Africa's defeats are always really painful ones. New Zealand, they tend to get somewhere, but they always get outplayed in finals. So commiserations to them. They've got a very talented team, and no doubt there's another World Cup next year, a 50 over one, and you can bet that they'll be in a semi-final in that one as well. But yeah, it's India's day. They are the World Cup champions. It's been a brilliant competition, probably, in my opinion, the best T20 World Cup there's been. Certainly my favourite. I think it's been a fantastic competition, with expanding it so more associate nations have had a chance to showcase what they can do. And yeah, the quality of the cricket has been fantastic. My only maybe negative is that it's been very batting friendly. The bowlers aren't really good looking, unless your name is Jasprit Bumrah. Apart from him, he's in fact the exception that proves the rule. But yeah, India are the world T20 champions again. They have defended their crown in their own country. So yeah, it's looking ominous in terms of future white ball groups. But yeah, what a brilliant tournament. Congratulations to India, commiserations to New Zealand. Thank you everybody who supported this podcast along this way, along this journey in this World Cup. But look, this is just the beginning for us. We're going to be covering so much more cricket content and topics and interviewing people. You name it, we're going to have it covered on this podcast. So thank you. Stay with us. I look forward to a bright new future with us as well. But thank you very much. Congratulations, India. This has been the Post Match Show with me, Sab. I will see you next time.